Hello everyone and welcome to the 2023 Improved Production Nationals, brought to you by Yokohama, Ravenol Australia and Pitcher Partners. 50 competitors from around Australia have converged here to Sydney Motorsport Park to see who is the best IPRA racer in the country. Some of the busiest people here at the 2023 Yokohama Improved Production Nationals are the guys behind me from Gordon Levin Tyres. This is the tyre that every competitor in the field uses. It's the Advan A050. It's also the tyre that's used across Australia in improved production. Some of the features, it's a medium compound. Every competitor uses the same compound. It stops people bolting on a set of softs to try and get a fast time in quali. Durability of the tyre is absolutely excellent, and because it already has sipes or cuts in the tyre, we can use it in both wet and dry conditions. A good tip to get the most out of these tyres is actually to flip them on the rims. They are directional, but you can change them from one side or the other to get the maximum wear out of your tyre. Beautiful day to go racing here at the IPRA Nationals, on board with Matthew Birks from New South Wales in the under 2 litre Toyota Corolla, getting monstered there by some of the over 2 litre competitors. 25 entrants in this particular heat, 4 heats as we make our way through to the finals on Sunday afternoon. On board with Adam Poole, who won first time of asking in an earlier race meeting with IPRA New South Wales in 2023. Zak Hudson, of course, defending national champion in that beautiful Mazda RX-7. These two will be hammer and tongs all weekend long. Back on board with Birks, looks like that's Bruce Cook and Chris Thomas. Ding-dong battle there, Queensland having a crack on New South Wales as we go over Corporate Hill. Birks are watching brief behind. Poole makes the move stick there on Hudson, eases that big Monaro away to a decent lead. It's about management though this weekend. It's not a one and done. You have to manage your tyres, manage your car and manage yourself over the course of the weekend. Poole now stretching that advantage over Hudson, both driving straight and true, and that's Ryan Gorton, New South Wales racer in an under 2 litre car, chasing the big guns down. Thomas and Birks again over Corporate Hill. These two have been at it all race long. Great respect shown. IPRA racing is just as good right around Australia. Lots of respect shown and very little contact between any of the drivers. That's Mick Ricketts, a New South Wales under 2 litre, watching these two to see if, big slide there from Thomas. Birks ducks up the inside. Good move if he can get this done. Looks like Michael Hazelton chasing down Scott Cooke there for the 3rd spot on the podium. Lee Forrest in that beautiful yellow Celica all the way from Tasmania. Huge thanks to everyone who's made the trip to New South Wales to make this one of the best IPRA Nationals of recent times. Bob Jowett there. Unders car on overs car. Front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive. 4-cylinder versus V8. It's all here at the IPRA Nationals. Jowett puts the move on Lee Forrest as the race winds down. First victory goes to Adam Poole in the Monaro. Zak Hudson in 2nd place, and Ryan Gorton comes home for 3rd. Zak Hudson, mate, welcome to Sydney Motorsport Park for the 2023 Yokohama IPRA Nationals. Coming in as defending champion, how does that feel?
It's a first, I will say. Managed to pick it up last year back in the home state in Queensland. It was a tough gig down there, and I think it's going to be tougher this year. So, yeah, look, just see how it goes. You can't really plan anything, so just hopefully we're fast enough and see how we go.
How's the RX-7 treating you?
It's been good. Obviously, Phil Laird's been working on the car for a lot of years now, and he knows his way around. So, we're giving it a little bit of a tune-up to make sure we're fast enough, to make sure we're keeping up the front. That's where we need to be to try and take it out again.
So seeing what the other guys have done recently around Sydney Motorsport Park, has that changed your mindset coming into this race?
Not exactly. Look, you look at the lap times and obviously they're a lot faster, but you can never judge our lap times from last time we were here to when they were here, because it's different track temperatures and a lot of different variables. So the track could have been absolutely awesome, or we could have just had a very bad track when we were here. So it's as fast as you are with the people around on the weekend, so we'll just take it as it comes and see how we go.
And always fun to race different people from different states. And I noticed up in our room there that there's a trophy for the best in state. So there might be a bit of a Blues versus Maroons battle going on.
Yeah, they've always had the state of origin around with the national title, so it's always a good thing to put on, and makes everyone work together. All the Queenslanders all work together and make sure we can take it out again for 2 years in a row.
Well, us New South Wales will make sure that you can't, mate. Best of luck for the weekend.
Yeah, best of luck to the New South Wales people too.
Ryan Gorton, we're at the 2023 Yokohama IPRA Nationals. Mate, welcome back to the category. How's the car running?
Yeah, thanks, mate. Car's running well. A few little issues last night in the test, but we're on top of it. Car's a rocket. So, yeah, hopefully we have a good weekend. Weather's awesome. Yeah, we'll see how we go.
And lots of different competitors to play with, eh?
Yeah, it's a massive field. It's good to see. Heaps of variety. I'm looking forward to it.
And unders and overs all mixed in together. Any concerns there?
So we ran mixed grids last Nationals at Morgan Park, but Sydney might be a bit different because these unders go not too bad here outright pace, but yeah, as you're probably well aware, trying to get past a Commodore with 600 horsepower, it could be a challenge. We'll see how we go. Try and keep out of trouble.
Yeah, good idea, mate. We'll see you at the end of the weekend.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
We move to Groups C and D, Heat 2 of the Yokohama IPRA Nationals on board. Big launch there from Stig Richards, a New South Wales driver, aboard his Mazda RX-7. A few rotaries in the field this weekend. That's Lachie McBrien, New South Wales leads, New South Wales in second, New South Wales in third spot, Steve Engel in the only Evo in the field as the rest of the field pours through turn 2. McBrien easing out over defending national champion in the under 2 litre category, Kurt Macready, as they climb over to turn 5. McBrien moving that BMW out to a handy lead now. Again though, it is about a little bit of patience and playing the longer game over the course of the Nationals weekend. There's no point burning all your matches in Heat 1. Through the windscreen there of Richards we see Commodore versus Honda. That's Justin McClintock and Brandon Wan Lum. McClintock hanging tough around the outside. Wan Lum will have the legs, but I think McClintock will have the agility coming into that final complex. McBrien just managing that gap to Macready. Algie in a watching brief has moved past Engel. Jason Grimman from Queensland coming through the field. Ash Isarasena as well. Big lock up there. A little bit of oil down, I think, on the track. And that's Simon Del Fontana who's going to make the move on Grimman, but that Commodore's got some legs, so watch out for it later in the weekend. McClintock, with local knowledge, working hard on the back of that field. Overs and unders mixing it up here at the Yokohama IPRA Nats. Richards and Wan Lum, full lock. Look at those cars moving around on the Yokohama A050 medium compound tyres. Big dive there from Richards, great move into a difficult complex. On board now with Mayan Reddy. That's Jason Palmer ahead of him. Drops it a little bit on the exit of turn 2. And Reddy will slide on through there. Good move. Beautiful winter's day here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Hang on, have we lost? We've lost McBrien. McBrien has disappeared from the lead of the race. That's Kurt Macready way out in front over Ben Algie. And that'll bring Steve Engel up into third spot as they cross the line. Wonder what happened there to the BMW, but that will mix things up as we come towards the finals of the Yokohama IPRA Nationals. Kurt Macready, the 2023 Yokohama IPRA Nationals are here. You're coming in as the defending unders number 1, or actually 111. How's it going so far?
Yeah, everything's good so far. A little issue in practice 1, nothing significant. Got it fixed up, just a little oil leak. So car's good. Setup and suspension geometry, nothing's changed since we were here a week ago, or 3 weeks ago I should say. So I just need to go out, generate a good lap time and make sure that we're happy with the car. Otherwise I think we're good.
Now, the track was all-time a few weeks ago. You set a new lap record for unders. A little bit different today. How's it going to pan out over the weekend, do you reckon?
I don't know. It's tricky. You just need to race hard, as always. That's what we're here for. But you do need to sort of manage yourself in your car to make sure that you last all weekend. So respectable lap times. 41s today would be fantastic. you'd probably park it up after that. But if you're in the 42, 43 second group, you probably need to go a little bit quicker. So that's what we'll be aiming for today. That's our plan. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we go.
Anybody that you're keeping your eye on at this early stage?
Of course, Ryan and the other Sylvia, there's no doubt about that. Obviously Justin and Ryan Jagger as well. They're also going to be there or thereabouts. That'll be your main sort of group, I think, from the top of my head that I can think of.
Fantastic, mate. Well, best of luck, and we'll speak to you over the weekend.
Yeah, cheers, thanks.
We've caught up with Phil Callis from Gordon Levin Motorsport Tyres, who provide us with our Yokohamas for the weekend. Phil, it's an awesome event here. How are the guys treating their tyres?
Mate, some of them are burning them up, but yeah, look, majority of them are going quite well.
Now, I'd actually like to talk to you a little bit about sort of breaking down a couple of the myths that we all learn up and down pit lane, some of the bad habits. Let's talk about like a cold starting pressure, for example. Like one guy told me 18 PSI for my AO50s. I don't think that's right.
No, mate, that's a disaster for a breakage, that's for sure. Look, I think you're better off around about the 23 mark, so add another 5 PSI to that.
And in terms of where they end up hot, does it sort of matter? I've got a small car, a Honda Civic, and then you've got the guys like Adam Poole in the big Monaro. Does the end pressure kind of matter, or does it change much between those two cars?
Definitely, for sure. Look, a lot of the front-wheel drive cars would usually run different air pressures front to back, usually because they don't want as much grip on the back, so they would normally run a PSI or two more. A big car like a Commodore, nice and heavy, needs a little bit more air pressure than a lighter car, just so they're not working the hinge point of the tyre so much. So if we're going to look at it overall hot air pressure, I'd say on the heavy car it'd be looking sort of low 30s, where on a light car, high 20s.
In terms of, we were talking before about people wanting to flip the tyres on the rims to maybe get a bit more longevity out of it, because improved production racing is still a bit of a value sport. We want to get the best out of our tyres. Do you recommend that practice? Should we be doing it sort of more often, do you think, or do you think we should just rotate front to back and that's it?
Okay, that's a good question. So when it comes to rotations, one thing is it definitely helps you with tyre life, but I think for when it comes to overall performance, better off to leave the tyres in the same. Keep your lefts to your lefts, your rights to your rights, only because the tyre has taken shape on the track from driving on them. Once you flip them, you're now putting the high side of the tyre on the inside, which is now raising the car, reducing your contact patch. It's going to take a few laps to wear that edge down again so you can grow your contact patch. So definitely, if you're looking for outright performance, just leave them. Rotate front to back, no problems, but if you're doing left to right, all you're getting is tyre life. You're not gaining any performance. If anything, you're losing performance because you're reducing the contact patch.
And that is the last thing that we want to do, is lose performance. Phil, thank you so much for your time. Let's get back to the action here at the IPRA Nationals for 2023. The sun has gone down, the lights have come up here at Sydney Motorsport Park. We're on board for Heat 3 of the Yokohama Improved Production Nationals. On board the Yokohama 360 cam with Lachie McBrien as he comes from the back of the field, hosing through the back of the pack. Unbelievable start there. Poole, headlights ablaze up the front. Algie in second spot. McClintock in third spot, doing a brilliant job. It's like driving around a fully lit football pitch. You don't need the headlights, but it certainly helps to spot your competitors in the mirror. But it is such an amazing experience to drive this track under lights. Oh, a little bit of a bubble there. Ryan Gorton, Jason Grimman fighting hard, exiting the hairpin. Oh, talking about exiting, that is a rough move there. Harris, I think, just about put Richards off the track as McBrien continues his march forward, with Poole just easing that gap out from Algie, with McClintock watching in third spot. Grimman in that big Commodore fourth spot. More racing, hard racing here between Harris and Richards. Oh, a little squeezy there. Harris has been doing a little time in TCR Australia, so playing maybe a little bit rougher than he might do in IPRA normally. Sprays it a little bit wide, then closes the door. Rick, this is some hard, tough racing between these two. Charlie Viola doing very well in the IPRA New South Wales series in the middle of the pack there. Might be slowing a little bit in the midst of a little bit of a battle there. Not as fast as he usually is out of the corner. Mayan ready, watching Brief, Graham, Shea and Adam Wiedemann battling hard there as well. Overs, unders, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, rotary power and four cylinder, all mixing it up here. Under lights, glowing tail lights, glowing brake rotors. It's all happening here at the Yokohama IPRA Nats. Big thanks to Picture Partners and Ravenol Australia for supporting us throughout this event. Staying on board there, that's Mark Tefanis. Big move there. You can see the power of the V8 rounds up a couple of the RX-7s and he'll make his presence felt down the main straight here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Michael Hazelton tucked under the rear wing of Grimond with McBrien, Ryan Gorton in close pursuit there as well. Flames licking out the back of the RX-7. Awesome sight here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Back on board with the Yokohama 360 cam. Big dive on Hazelton from McBrien. Huge move there. Grimond again locks a tyre coming into that hairpin and bringing McBrien into play. But the muscle of that V8 just hoses away on the approach to the final complex. But again, here's the braking power. How is that back on board the Yokohama 360 cam? Brilliant stuff from a committed McBrien. Three-wheeling for McClintock, holding down a brilliant third place against some very fast overs cars. Real example of how it goes here at the Nationals. Overs and unders, front and rear, everybody mixing it in together to get the best result. That's Bob Jowett chasing down Stig Richards, throwing flames out the back of that RX-7. Awesome. Back on board now, McBrien pacing his way through the field here. Got Ben Algie as the next victim in his sights. Will he get the move done right around the outside there? Lots of space given by both competitors. Side by side action, unbelievable. And Algie will just hold out the space there as McBrien tries the undercut coming over Corporate Hill. Poole wins his second heat from Lachie McBrien. A brilliant drive from the back of the field. Ryan Gorton brings it home for an under 2 litre car in third spot. Bob Jowett, mate, we're not too far away from the finals of the 2023 Yokohama IPRA Nationals. This is, your fourth or fifth Nationals. You've won a couple. How are you feeling going into the final?
Look, I'm feeling really good. The cars have become far more competitive, and I haven't driven this for 14 months, but you never say never because you don't know what happens on the Nationals.
Yes, you're 2 from 3 in terms of National start. You haven't done a lot of Nationals racing. How do you find racing guys from interstate?
The only thing is you don't know these guys at first, and you don't know what they're going to do. But having said that, they've been very, really good. No, I haven't been involved in any, I have a little incident, but no, they've been giving us room. And racing with the overs, because they've got the different strengths to us, they're good in places and I'm good in places, and it makes a race for it.
You said you were out of the seat for 14 months. Did you have to work out a bit of rust? It's a long weekend. It was at a good opportunity to get a few miles in.
Yes, it was. I had to learn to drive a manual again. I hadn't driven a manual in at that time. But it's like riding a bike because you get back on it and, you're 99% there. I won't say I'm 100, but we've got faster each session. So, yeah, hopefully that'll reflect on the main race.
Mate, best of luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm here with Scott Davis from Ravenol Australia, mate. Thank you and the company so much for supporting the 2023 Yokohama IPRA Nationals. How are you finding the weekend so far?
It's been fantastic. Yeah, the beautiful weather. The Sydney's put it on, and great turnout for IPRA Nationals this week. It's great.
Now, Ravenol is more of a product for workshops. Can you tell us a little bit about the marketing strategy for Australia?
Yep. So that's all it is. It's a trade-based oil only for all workshops, and have you a lot of workshop owners racing with this. This was a good way for we can reach our target market and such. So yeah, so it's beneficial for workshops. Yep.
You've done the IPRA New South Wales sponsorship as well for a couple of years. What attracts you to sponsor club-based racing?
It's a reach to the grassroots. It's reach to the workshops. It helps us get out to people who Ravenol is. Ravenol's been in the country just for 5 years now. Ravenol is a 75-year-old company, sort of thing. It's in 90 countries throughout the world. But the good thing about Ravenol is that they're heavily involved in motor racing, so they're involved in over 100 race series throughout the world, and IPRA's one of them, which is great. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we're going racing with Ravenol Australia in the rest of the IPRA Nationals, so let's get back to the action. Time for the fourth heat, under lights, Group B and D. We go on board with Jason Palmer in the BMW E30 from the back of the field. Comes up through the gears, sequential gearbox. In that E30 comes streaming past. That's Brett Waters in the Harlan Engineering 308 GTI. Rest of the field pouring through turn 2. We've got 22 cars in this third heat, and we're getting down to the business end of the Yokohama IPRA Nationals. Queensland Zak Hudson jumps out to a fairly sizable lead this early in the event over New South Wales. Kurt Macready, both those guys defending champions of improved production racing. Big field, overs and unders mixed up all the way through. You see 2 4-cylinders fighting with Brandon Van Lum in the 8-cylinder Commodore. Great racing, flames bursting out of the back of the RX-7 as he eases away. Oh, tight tussle there. That's Steve Engel and Scott Cooke fighting over potentially third spot in this heat. Birks making hay as well, moving his way through the field. Gary McKay and that flame-throwing LJ Tirana being chased hard by Bill Cook and that beautifully turned out Swift GTI. Oh, look at that, the smaller, nimble front-wheel drive car around the outside there of the Tirana, who wants to have another go. Crack back at him there, throwing the flames out the side with Graham Baum in a watching brief as we're on board there with Jason Palmer. Harris makes the move stick on the GP Automotive Tirana from Victoria. Hudson just eking out a little bit of a gap over Macready, who looks like he's driving a little bit within himself. He knows what's to come at the IPRA Nationals. It's not all about the heats, it's all about the finals at the end of the weekend. Bit of smoke there from Engel's car. Doesn't seem to be slowing him down as Cook gives chase in the dark of the night here. Awesome experience to race around the floodlit track at Sydney Motorsport Park. Ash Isarasena giving chase there. That's Matthew Birks in the mix. Looks like that's Bruce Cook in the Mark 1 Escort. It's all happening, overs and unders, front and rear. What brilliant racing here at the Yokohama Improved Production Nationals. Graham Baum, a New South Wales local, giving chase now to that flame-chucking Tirana. And that's David Vincent trying the outside move on Jason Palmer. And that's Mark Harwer. Not only is it his first ever IPRA race, it's his first ever car race, doing a fabulous job in the RX-7. Zak Hudson wins that heat from Kurt Macready, with Stephen Engel hanging on for third spot. I'm here with Justin McClintock. We were just chatting all things Nationals. You've been around this sport for a while. You haven't done too many of these events though.
No, I haven't. No, we've sort of just stuck to state level stuff. I've always normally just had issues with the car and thinking we're not up to pace. So, I think I've done 4 in total now, and unfortunately only ever finished 1.
In terms of the competition, though, it is awesome to have everyone from around Australia, overs and unders together on a pretty cool track here at Sydney Motorsport Park.
Oh, absolutely. Look, we've got some really fast guys in unders here this weekend. I don't think we've quite got their measure, but we'll have a crack, that's for sure.
Your thing's been pretty good so far in season 2023 for Improved Production New South Wales, so you've got to back yourself a little bit.
Oh, yeah, but look, last weekend, a couple of weekends ago, I should say, we struggled to keep up with Kurt, that's for sure. So finishing second's great, but pushing him for a win would be better. So we've done a little bit to the car. We'll see what happens.
Fair enough, mate. Well, hopefully fifth time's a charm for you. Well done.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Brent Upton, welcome to Sydney Motorsport Park. Welcome to kind of your first Nationals. You said you didn't make it past the first day on the last one, right? What happened there?
I had an engine go at lunchtime on Friday, so unfortunately I never made it. So, yeah, my first Nationals, so looking forward to it. Will be very good.
And basically that was your home one this year, so you've come down to Cockroach territory to try and get a bit of a result down here.
Yeah, it's first time down here. It's really exciting, and the track's amazing. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, how are you finding Sydney Motorsport Park compared to your normal haunts at Queensland Raceway?
It's a lot faster, a lot more flowing. It's a lot more challenging. So it's challenging learning a new circuit too, and especially with the speed. But it's a lot of fun. So and the car seems to be suited to it, so it's really good.
And mixing it up with the overs and unders, how's that going?
Yeah, it's not too bad. Just spent a bit of time looking at the mirrors, but otherwise it's pretty good. Yeah.
Fantastic, mate. Well, best of luck for your first Nationals, and hope it goes well for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Down to the business end, Heat 5 at the Yokohama Improved Production Nationals for 2023. Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon is where the finals happen. On board with Matthew Birks off the front there. Again, a reasonably average start with the rear-wheel drive cars making hay over the front drivers off the line here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Big thanks again to Pitcher Partners and to Ravenol Australia for their support of the IPRA Nationals. We go back through the field. It is hard, it is hot, it is heavy. Here on Sunday morning, everybody's got their eye in after a couple of solid days of competition. Zak Hudson jumping out to an early lead over Scott Cooke and Ben Algie. Mazda leading out the two Nissans as the rest of the field streams through that reasonably tricky 4-5 complex on the way up over the hill here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Another beautiful day to go car racing here in Sydney. On board with Macready. Ducks on the inside of Bill Harris in the BMW. Harris will hang tough there. Front wheel drive, smaller, nimble car. Makes the most of it. See the morning sun blinding the drivers as they turn out of the final corner onto the main straight here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Or was that McClintock? Looks like McClintock has come off the track there. He was doing very well over the course of the weekend. That's a real shame for the New South Wales driver. Cooke and Algie, second and third. McBrien in a watching brief in fourth spot. Had some dramas early in the event, but he's come back with a real rush. Big move there on Cooke by McBrien. Won't get the move done there, but a little bit of dew on the track maybe this early in the morning. Massive oversteer as he gets on the power in that BMW. Richards, Birks and Ricketts, three New South Wales drivers in hot pursuit of each other as the race winds down. On board now with Birks eyeing off the RX-7, popping flames and doing oversteer things as Stig just holds his own against the younger, hungrier Birks. The Corolla's going to try and hang tough on the inside, but Stig Richards has the line coming through the final complex. Hugs the apex, winds it on. Birks hanging right on the back bumper as they roll down this 1 kilometre straight here at Sydney Motorsport Park. McBrien still chasing Cooke hard for second place. Algie, a watching brief. Jason Grimman coming through in fourth. Bruce Cooke and that beautiful Mark 1 Escort holding down fifth. Brock Payne and yet another RX-7 in sixth spot. That's a big dive from Bill Harris, using that lightweight car to full advantage to make a sizable move there on Macready, and goes after Gary McKay in the Tirana. On board now with David Vincent. These two have fought hard all season long in IPRA New South Wales competition, and they're carrying it on through IPRA Nationals. Good to see. Again, Bill Harris chucks it in under braking, makes short work of McKay at the Sydney Motorsport hairpin. Comes right back at him though. Shows the way as they go into the final complex. End of the heat, Zak Hudson holds on to take the win from Lachie McBrien. Scott Cooke coming home for third spot. Mark Harwood, your very first improved production race, you've chosen the 2023 Yokohama IPRA Nationals to make your debut. And what a debut, mate. You have had quite a weekend.
Yeah, it's been wild. It's definitely been a baptism of fire. We snapped a apparently unbreakable billet axle, so there's a lot of driving in the Renault traffic yesterday. We got it back on track and were able to do the night race last night.
Mate, it is awesome. You guys have come back and come back and come back again. How are you actually enjoying the experience?
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, I think for me, I feel really comfortable in the car. I've done a couple of track days. Obviously, racing is a completely new experience, but there were some huge battles last night, and I was looking back at the footage last night, and even I was sitting there thinking, if I wasn't me and I was watching that for a first race, I'd be thinking, that's actually a bit wild, and it is completely insane footage.
So, someone who's thinking about getting into improved production racing, what would you tell them?
Go for gold. First thing would be map out what it would cost you to build a car versus buying an actual car, and I think that was the real thing for me budget-wise. When I was doing the maths, it was six figures to get to where I wanted to get to, but was able to do it for less than half of that. But try and find, I guess, someone that's selling the car that's actually a really nice guy that's willing to help you.
Best of luck with it. You've done a fantastic job. Hopefully we'll see you in IPRA New South Wales, and congratulations on quite an amazing IPRA Nationals.
Thank you very much.
Steve Jolly, welcome to New South Wales, mate. You guys have had a pretty interesting weekend. You're going to tell me a little bit about it.
Yes, Mark was coming over from Perth and he fell crook on the way. Ended up in hospital on the Saturday night with twisted bowels. Had surgery the very next day, and he handed me the driver's seat.
So you were almost ready. How did you get your suit? How would it all go?
I already had all that equipment because I've been racing saloon cars in West Australia for quite a few years, and just retired from doing that over there and started racing over here, doing some regularity and some super sprints. Yeah. And then when this opportunity come up, I grabbed it.
And how have you found the event so far this weekend?
Excellent, awesome.
And the fellow competitors from all around Australia, we don't get to play with everyone here in New South Wales, but it's great having people from out of state. How are you finding it?
Oh, awesome. They're all good. If you need help, they all give you a hand and that. They're all very, very nice, very friendly.
Excellent. And how's the Falcon going?
It's going quite good, quite good. I'm a little slow in it. Mark would probably be a lot quicker than me, but I'm having fun.
Excellent, mate. Well done for stepping in. All the best to Mark as well, and safe trip home.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gary McKay, welcome. The last Victorian standing in the over 2 litres here at the 2023 Yokohama Improved Production Nationals. How you going, mate? This thing is spectacular.
Look, we had a ball here. Love the circuit. The hospitality's been fantastic. We've had our issues. We've had a few things go wrong, but hey, it wouldn't be Nationals without it, would it?
Exactly right. And this is your first time to Sydney Motorsport Park?
Absolutely. I haven't even been here as a spectator. So, so we've really enjoyed it.
How have you found the track?
Look, the track is fantastic. It's a lot more technical. It's got a lot more elevation than what I expected it to have. But across the board, I think it's just a fantastically technically challenged track.
So I reckon we might see you here again. How are you finding the other states to race with?
Oh, everything's been fantastic. And you'll see me back here, don't you worry. I can't wait to come back.
On board with Jason Palmer for the final heat of the 2023 Yokohama Improved Production Nationals. The field streams away 22 cars in this final heat before we go into finals this afternoon. 3 wide as we come into turn 1. Everyone racing for Sheep Station. They want a spot at the end of the weekend. Action at turn 2. Simon Del Fontana clatters into the side of defending champion Kurt Macready, who's stuck on the track. Looks like a couple of people avoiding action. Is that the 17 maybe of Chris Thomas on the infield? So we go to safety car, we pick it up at a restart with Adam Poole taking control of the race. Wow, that's going to turn up for the books. We'll see what ramifications that has for the finals. on board with Palmer again, and that was Chris Thomas, desperately making up spots now. Big move on Hawa, looking on the inside of a few of the other competitors. Robson in 32. We'll see the short work from the faster Tirana. Gorton, starting off pole, now holds down second spot as he chases after Poole. Hazelton, Engel and Isarasena battling as well. Bob Jowett again chasing the big Commodore of Brandon Wan Lum. Around the outside there, not a move that always works. You have to get it done where you can get it done. If you can get a gap, big slide there. Jowett ducks underneath the oversteering Commodore. This is where the tyres will start to feel a little bit tired. But Adam Poole will hang on to win the final heat from Ryan Gorton, and Michael Hazelton is in RX7.